Welcome back, and joining us this morning on the breakfast show in the studio is Dr. Magda Amer, Islamic scholar. A very good morning to you, Doctor. Thank you.
Good morning, Dr.
Happy
Magda.
day, inshallah, Mother Day.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Let's begin off with a question on Mother's Day. How can we acknowledge the role of mothers on this special day dedicated to them?
Regarding Islam, Islam has urged really to respect the mother, and I want to just highlight that this is on top of the hierarchy. I mean, if you have lots of duties towards elderly in general, but the mother is on top of it, and it comes right after worshipping Allah. And this is clear in Surah Al-Isra, verse 23. وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا إما يبلغن عندك الكبر أحدهما أو كلاهما فلا تقل لهما أف ولا تنهرهما وقل لهما قولا كريما واخفض لهما جناح الذل من الرحمة وقل رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. Just to summarize it, after Allah has decreed to worship only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala except Him, I mean nothing except Him, then immediately it comes after it is to be dutiful to the parents. So this is like, it comes on the second rank. It's so important to respect the elderly, especially the parents. And we're not allowed to utter even a word like "uff" or just showing the disrespect or discontent or displeased, or like you should respect is even if you're angry, you should restrain your anger and honor them. And even the continuation of the verse is explaining that we should show the humility. Maybe you are more knowledgeable than them. Don't show that you are knowledgeable. Be humble and be merciful to them.
Yeah, how can we give importance, Dr. Magda, to mother's legacy today? I mean, every mom today needs to feel that she's appreciated by all members of the family, not by the kids alone. How do you think we can share her day?
Many things we can do regarding the rules of Islam. There are etiquette how to deal with to deal with them. First, we have to listen to their advice kindly. You know, actually they are a bit this new generation. Sometimes somehow they are arrogant and they are not grateful to their parents. Offering them presents, of course, to show them love, compassion, console them if they are in hardship, complaining of any problem. Even we should maintain them. This is very important. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Anta wa malak al-abik." That means you are women, and I mean, whether you are a girl or a boy, the son and the daughter, they are responsible of their parents, whether a mother or the father too. I'm talking about both of them, maintaining them, supporting them financially. This is their responsibility. It's not paid out of the zakah, or it's not a choice. Anta wa malak al-abik is mandatory to support them, and financially very important is. And also to ask permission before entering, you know, permission before doing anything. An example of this is that the Prophet ﷺ, a man came to see him to participate in the battlefield. And then he said to him, "May I participate in the battlefield?" He said. Then the Prophet replied, "Are your parents still living?" The man said, "Yes." Then the Prophet said, فَفِيهِمَا فَجَاهِدْ. It means what? That means
supporting them in itself.
Yeah, I mean the true benefit of the jihad or participation in the battlefield is to please your parents, and to be obedient to your parents, except of course if they ask you to do anything unlawful. So obedience of the parents is part of the jihad, part of the struggling. And also another one, he went to the Prophet ﷺ and he asked him, "May I participate in the battlefield?" Same way he said, "Do you have parents or mother?" He said, "Yes." Then how did you leave them? Then he said, "How did you leave them?" Then he said, "They were crying." Then the Prophet replied, "Go and you know, spread happiness to them, and ask Allah to bestow mercy on them." I mean, this is very important. Priority is Allah's right or the parents' right. We can notice here that, subhanAllah, the parents' right come prior to Allah's right, because participating in battlefield when there is an enemy and it is critical situation is mandatory in Islam. But rights of the parents come prior to it. Right. So, subhanAllah, we have to understand how the rank is so high. It's on top of the hierarchy of the duties of in general to the society, and this really, subhanAllah, identify a good Muslim. As a basic attitude, his towards the parents, respect, honoring, mercy, compassion, showing all the nice, behavior in general. And the reward is great because the Prophet ﷺ said, "Birru aba'akum yabirukum abna'akum." Like whatever you're doing with your parents, subhanAllah, your children will be behaving the same way. So if you are dutiful to your parents, your children will be dutiful to you.
Dr. Magda, you mentioned that a way to celebrate Mother's Day is to show them love and attention, as well as give them gifts and presents. In your opinion, what are some of the gifts that can be given to mothers on Mother's Day that mothers will find appealing?
Could be flowers, a simple thing, not expensive. Whatever they like, you should like. If they like to read, then a book, it could be a plant, it could be anything. I mean, even if it is tiny and simple, it should be appreciated in general.
Right. Are we in a way or another raising our kids in a way that would let them appreciate what their mothers do for them, what their parents do for them? According to the Islamic teachings, how can we be able to install this in the kids while we are raising them?
So there are lots of rules to be taught to them. Among them is first, we don't eat before they eat. I mean, it's like etiquette, how to deal with the parents. So first, you serve the elderly, or whether it is the parents or the elderly in general. This is a general rule. And they eat and drink. You ask permission before entering their home, and not, I mean, if it is convenient for them, then you enter, otherwise you just stop and wait outside. This is part of the etiquette, a verse, a certain Nur explaining this in details. Also, you listen to their opinion, to their advice, and a very important thing is if you disagree with them, then you respect their opinion.
But you don't vent out your anger.
Yes, you don't show you restrain your anger, of course. You never ever insult them. Whether they are Muslim or non-Muslim or even disbeliever, this is general for all mothers or parents in general. I mean, this I'd like to highlight it because regardless of the religion, you just respect your parents in general. And also, you don't even walk before them. Just you answer their call if they're calling you. In Islam, even if you're praying Sunnah, answering the call of the parents come prior to prayer of Sunnah. If you're praying mandatory, of course, prayer, then of course this is come prior to the answering their call. But for the Sunnah, no, listening to them, answering the call is more important. Also be obedient in general and showing humbleness.
Doctor, very quickly, because we're running out of time. Yes. This year, of course, we're celebrating motherhood and motherland, and our motherland is again back to the Egyptians after the revolution. How would you describe the sense of belonging, and how on Mother's Day we need to reflect on this unprecedented sense of belonging to our homeland?
We're so proud that, alhamdulillah, we got the revolution and the results are amazing, and we should be like consistent and changing our behavior in general. Each one a member of the society is responsible to rectify whatever was corruption, whatever was wrong, and we wish Allah, inshallah, will shower His blessing on us, inshallah.
Right, and a final question: how can we support the mothers of the martyrs today?
They are really rewarded for their being grieving. Of course, they grieve, but we have to remind them of how those who died, they are rewarded at the Day of Judgment, and they are not dead; they are still alive, and they will testify on the Day of Judgment on their behalf.
Right. On that note, Dr. Magda Amer, Islamic scholar, thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us on this edition of the Breakfast Show. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming, Dr. Magda. Thank you very much.
And with that, indeed.
I guess, yes, while we are giving and wishes of all blessings and happy wishes for mothers today. I guess we come to the end of the breakfast show today, Angie.
Thank you very much, Tagreed, and to all the mothers out there, a very happy Mother's Day to you and a very good morning.